All right, guys, welcome to this episode of How We Disney. Today, we're going to talk about our favorite quick service restaurants in Disney. And so, Sarah, why don't you kind of lead us off with what we mean by quick service?
Sure. So Jeff and I each picked our 5 favorite quick service, and how we decided quick service, or how we classified them, is we took the Disney list of quick service restaurants right from their website, which I think was 195 restaurants when I looked at it. But from there, we added the constraint that the quick service location had to have seats or tables available. So, for example, you couldn't do the confectionery on Main Street because there's not like actual place to sit down and eat. Yep. So that was kind of our criteria for narrowing it down a little bit. But I actually had a really hard time determining my number 5. Did you have any hard times, or was it pretty easy?
It was okay.
All right, so maybe at the end I'll do an honorable mention. You want to start with your number 5?
Sure. Number 5 for me is Woody's Lunchbox in Toy Story Land. And the reason this is number 5 is I really enjoy the adult lemonade there. I enjoy the tachos, and I enjoy the breakfast version of that. And they have some really good, I guess, Pop-Tart, like pastry types of things. So I find it to be, it's not a huge menu, but the food that they offer, I really enjoy. The biggest knock against this is that there's only 2 cash registers there. So the line is huge, but, if you mobile order, it's usually not too bad of a wait.
Yeah, so Woody's Lunchbox is a great one, but it didn't make my list. Okay. So it was definitely one I considered, but it's not that honorable mention I was talking about. I agree. So the adult lemonade is an awesome drink. I believe it's a lemonade with cherry in it. And so that is, I'd say, probably the most frequent thing we get from there. And then I love the Pop-Tart items. So they have some flavors that are always there, like the hazelnut. But they also have seasonal ones. And so that is another great, quick option for me. I didn't pick it on my list just because the actual food items just aren't my absolute favorite. And so because of that, it didn't quite make it for me. The other big knock that I have against this, so this is going to be in Toy Story Land in Hollywood Studios. And there's not a lot of shade. So there are some tables that are covered, but it can be a very hot dining experience. Yep. And so that for me is definitely a ding against it. So it's much more enjoyable in the winter, I would say.
Oh, it's definitely more enjoyable in the winter, and there are definitely knocks against it. But ultimately, it made mine because I do enjoy a few of those food items there quite a bit. They've got, things I like for breakfast, lunch, and dessert. So it's an all around, I think, one of the places I want to go eat at more frequently than some of the other options in the Disney parks.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great in-park quick service option.
Yeah. What's your number 5?
My number 5, I imagine, is not on yours. I went with Sleepy Hollow in Magic Kingdom.
Nice. No, I did actually consider this one, but
you?
It did not make it. But it was an honorable mention of one I did consider it as a good option.
Okay, so yeah, this is going to be in Magic Kingdom, right as you walk past the castle going into Liberty Square. And the reason that I love it is it's waffles. So they do have some other items. So I think right now, if I was looking at the menu, they do have corn dogs and a few other things, but I don't ever pay attention to those. You go for the waffles. So the reason it made my list is the waffles are great, and it is a great sweet option and a savory option. So the savory waffle that I'd say is probably my go-to or my favorite one is going to be the sweet and spicy waffle. And so it's a really good flavor combo. It is a little bit spicy, so you have to be okay with that. And then the other, I'd say very popular one is going to be like a Nutella fruit waffle. So that's also available. I would say the big ding against it for me is the line is usually pretty long.
Yeah, it's a very slow moving line.
Yes.
It doesn't even have 2 registers. It has 1. So yeah, that is a negative, but I do love those fruit waffles she's talking about. They're outstanding. It's a big fluffy waffle, tons of fruit, Nutella, a huge mess. It's an awesome place for a quick little stop in for a snack.
Yeah, I think it's perfect for quick service. So you do have the seating to the side if you want it, but you could also walk with the item if you want. And so, yeah, so because of that and the convenience of it being in Magic Kingdom is what brought it on my list.
Nice.
Yeah. How about your number 4?
Number 4 for me is in Epcot, and it is Sunshine Seasons. Is that on your list?
It is not, but that actually was another one I was thinking about.
Nice. So Sunshine Seasons is on my list because it's just got so many different options. It's got so much that is healthy. It's got so much that is bakery and dessert and everything in between. They usually have vegetarian and vegan options, and really you can just go and get whatever you want. It's kind of just a mini food court, but it doesn't have any of the negatives of what I consider a food court to be. So it is a great ride right outside, or I'm sorry, great restaurant area right outside of Soarin', and I really enjoy going there specifically for some of the Chinese food options or the Thai food options that they have. I'm not exactly sure what it's classified as, but that's awesome, those noodle dishes. And we usually go and grab a dessert. They have tons of seasonal desserts there that we always try and get, and it's nice because there's always seating as well, air conditioning, just a nice place to kind of take a few minutes to relax, and I really enjoy the food there.
I completely agree. So the reason it was like one I definitely considered is a lot of the points that you made, the AC, the location are very good. I do think the fact that if you do have somebody who's vegetarian or vegan, these are great options. We had a family member recently that came down. She really wanted some vegan desserts, and so we went there, and she had a great one, and she loved it. So I think that's a really nice option. And I would say that it's just very easy. So that's like a perfect quick service. What you want is a grab your food, sit down, eat it, and it's good food. And I will say, like, if you go and eat a fried chicken spicy waffle, if you eat a bunch of those, you're probably going to need a meal that's not, like, as theme parky. And so this is a great option for a little bit of a lighter, healthier option. So, yeah, I completely agree with all that.
Yeah, it's a good place. It's all, I enjoy also that there's almost never a line. If there is, it's one or two people. So you can get in, you can get out, you can get your food, always have a table, and just move on with your day.
Yeah, I agree.
So what's number 4 for you?
I imagine my number 4 is also on your list, higher, but I could be wrong. My number 4 is Rondo Roasters in Hollywood Studios. Is it on yours?
It's not on my list.
It's not? Okay. So I put Rondo Roasters on here just because I would say a Ronto wrap is going to be one of the things that I will grab at a quick service most frequently. So I guess if you're not familiar with Rondo Roasters, it's going to be, again, Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood Studios. It's going to be located in there. They have this thing called a Ronto wrap, which is going to be a pork sausage. It also is a piece of sausage, and then it has like coleslaw with it, and it's on like a pita bread. So anytime we go, this is basically the thing I get. There's also like a chicken pita. It's okay, and I think there might be a few other options. They do have alcoholic beverages, so if you want to grab an alcoholic beverage or a beer, they have those as well. But the main reason it made my list is because of the Ronto wrap. Do you want to talk about the Ronto wraps anymore?
They're awesome. They have breakfast versions with eggs. They have lunch/dinner versions, or the one Sarah just described. I absolutely love the Ronto wraps. We do grab them all the time. The only reason it did not make my list is there's just no variety there. I mean, there's literally, you go and you get a Ronto wrap, either with chicken, like the Greek or whatever one it is, or the normal Ronto wrap. And those are your two options. So the two options, they nailed. They are awesome. But again, it's only two options. So that's the only reason it didn't make my list.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Yeah, if you're going to go, you're going to be limited, as opposed to like Sunshine Season. You have a ton of options of different stuff. So for me, though, I love the Ronto wraps. It's definitely you have to like a little bit of spice. Not necessarily spicy, but there's spices in it. The coleslaw and the pita combo. But if that sounds good to you, like, this should definitely be on your quick service try list. And it's also pretty convenient. You can mobile order it. There's some shade. There's some seats. Or a lot of times we'll just take it and walk with it. And it's an easy kind of walk one without kind of having to sit down and eat it if you want as well.
Yeah, it's a great place. Absolutely.
All right. So, yeah, that was my number 4 then.
All right. So number 3 for me is in Epcot, and it is the Tangerine Cafe in Morocco. Is that on your list?
No, we have so many different, but so many I also thought about. So yeah, it's not on my list, but it's a good one.
So this is the quick service location in the Morocco Pavilion. It's going to be right behind Spice Road Table, and we absolutely love this place. Our go-to dish is the chicken pita it comes with hummus, it comes with some lentils, it comes with couscous, and I enjoy all the sides. The entire dish is just perfect as it is. It's usually not got a huge line there. It's got indoor seating and outdoor seating, and it's just a really outstanding meal that does not in any way taste like it comes from a theme park. I absolutely love this meal, and it's one of my favorites in all of Disney. Sit down or quick service.
I agree. Yeah, I think it's just great food. It's fresh. They have it right there. How you order, you kind of like order it, and then you walk down the line. They just put it on your plate, and you're good to go. So it's no waiting time really. And yeah, it's perfect that you do have indoor and outdoor seating. So if it's a hot day, you can go inside, go for the AC, or you can sit outside. So yeah, I think it's a great one. I just had a few others that like personally beat it out for me, but I still do think it's like a really good quick service place.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's healthy food, because it's not, but it's definitely not fried food, or you're not going to come away from it feeling like you just ate a pound of grease or anything like that too, which is nice, because sometimes you can get around to these locations and theme parks and just have some really unhealthy food, but this is not one of those, which I really enjoy as well.
Yeah, and they do have a bunch of options. So again, if you're looking for vegetarian options, they do have like falafel and those type of ones. So I've had the falafel there before as well, and that's also really good.
I imagine they have beef or lamb.
I think it's lamb, chicken,
they've got
falafel.
They have a bunch of different options. We just usually end up with the chicken one, but there's quite a bit there that you can pick from, and you can kind of mix and match.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great one.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 3?
Your number 3?
All right, my number 3 is Be Our Guest in Magic Kingdom. Is that on yours?
No.
We have all of them different.
I don't like Be Our Guest. So.
I didn't think it would be, but okay, so I guess, so Be Our Guest is located in the Magic Kingdom back in Fantasyland. For me, the reason this made my list and it made so high on my list is not necessarily the food. So I do think the food is okay, but it's the atmosphere. And so when you're going to Be Our Guest, it's only going to be quick service at lunchtime. So I guess that's first thing to kind of separate out. If you go at dinner, and I believe breakfast as well, you need the sit-down reservations for it. With the lunch ordering, you can order ahead of time though, right?
Yeah, but don't you need a reservation still for lunch?
I think you do, but it's still considered a quick service according to Disney, so I still let it count.
Fair enough.
So for that one though, you're gonna order. I prefer ordering ahead of time, so then you don't have to wait in their line there. No. They'll bring it out to your table, so it's a definitely different type of experience. But for that one, I would say the food is good. I would say for the value, you're getting a really good experience. So the meals I'd say are like $18 to $20-ish. They have like croque monsieur and some different types of dishes. They have the gray stuff as a cupcake if you want to try that. So it's really good, but the main thing is the atmosphere. So when you walk into Beast Castle, that's going to be the theming. You're going to have the ballroom. There's also the West Wing, and then there's another like music box room. And so you really do feel like you're in Beast Castle. So for me, the reason it made my list and made so high on it is that theming.
Yeah, the theming there is amazing. Checking out all the different rooms is really cool. But I do want to just mention briefly about the reservation thing Sarah did bring up. But you make a reservation and then you get into line to get into the restaurant. And then once you're in the restaurant, you actually have to wait in probably a longer line to order your food. So she mentioned ordering ahead of time. That's what she's referring to. If you order ahead of time on the app, you actually get to skip all these lines and you just go right into the register and then they seat you and you get a little puck that I think is like a rose and the servers know right where you are. So it does save you a ton of time if you just order your food ahead of time. And that is actually a feature I love considering how long the line is because so many people want to eat here. That saves you so much time and it just makes the experience so much more convenient.
Yeah, I agree. And so that's a very good point. And so I would say this is not your traditional quick service where you can just go up and order it. It definitely takes a bit more planning, but it is still like quick service prices. So I would say it's really not that much more expensive than a lot of your other options. And for me, you're going to get an amazing atmosphere. It's still air conditioning. The food comes out pretty quick. And so a lot of the other aspects are still there. So the atmosphere aspect is really the main reason that drove it home. I still don't mind the food. I know you don't like it as much, but that's why it made my list.
Yeah, it's definitely a must-see interior. The theming's outstanding.
Yeah. Awesome. All right.
All right. We're on to my number 2, which is in Disney Springs, and it is the Polite Pig.
This did not make my list, but I was considering this one as well.
All right. So Polite Pig is barbecue in Disney Springs. If you are facing the... the World of Disney. It's to the right a little bit, so it's not too far away from that store. And it is just a great barbecue place. They've got salads if you want something a little healthier. They've got pulled pork. They've got ribs. They've got chicken. They've got pretty much any type of pulled meat that you could think of for a barbecue place. But then their sides are outstanding as well. They've got street corn or grilled type of corn with sauce on it. They've got great potato salad. Their mac and cheese is outstanding. I really like their, it's barbecue or buffalo cauliflower. That's really, really good. So for me, this one has just so many dishes that taste outstanding that I love to eat. That it's just a really fun place. It can get kind of busy, but it moves pretty quick because it's barbecue. They do have some really great outdoor seating. I'm not a huge fan of the indoor setup there, but the outdoor seating, they have covered area. They have a very large indoor-outdoor bar that you can sit around. So the atmosphere is really relaxed and enjoyable as well. So
yeah, I think that's probably my favorite place as a quick service location in Disney Springs. Yeah. So for me, The entrees are okay, but to me, the sides. So every time I go, I'm like, I should have just ordered sides. So I feel like that should be like my argument to myself next time. The drinks are really good, so I would say they have a bunch of really good drinks there. But it is just really good food, especially the sides. So if you're like sides, I would probably just get them all as a meal. I don't know if you agree or not. But yeah, it is a great location. The thing for me is that especially compared to like Be Our Guest, it's not going to have that same type of theming or Disney feel. But a lot of the quick service places don't have that type of theming, except for maybe the fact that they're in the park. So I think that it's a hard thing to kind of fault it for. It's still a very nice atmosphere and a very nice location. It just goes with the fact that it's in Disney Springs, and so it's not going to be like crazy themed for the most part. But yeah, it's really good food.
Yeah, the sides are awesome. You could absolutely have a meal of 3 or 4 sides and be very, very happy. But for the theming, I'm pretty sure this is run and owned by a third party. It's not actually done by Disney. They're just in Disney Springs, so that's kind of why there's not that theming. They, have their barbecue joint theme going on, and yeah, so it is a different feel than the other restaurants, but it doesn't, I don't think, take away from it. It's just a different feel.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yep.
All right. Anything else on Polite Pig?
It's awesome. I love it. Yep.
I agree.
So number 2 for you.
All right, my number 2, I can pretty much guarantee is not your number 1, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong. So it's Les Halles Patisserie. There's another word in the middle there, but it is the. It's not on your list.
It's not on my list. No.
So this is gonna be the bakery in the back of the French Pavilion. So if you're in the French Pavilion, you basically walk to the back, keep left, and then there's a store, and then you go through the store, and in the very back is gonna be this patisserie. And in here, it's still a quick service, and it's gonna have an amazing array of desserts. So I have a horrible sweet tooth, so for me that's why it ranked as my number 2 or so high. And the desserts are all awesome. So they have everything from little like fruit parfaits to macaroons to like everything, pretty much anything you could want, and they are all so good. But in addition to that, they also have more like real food, I guess. So there's everything from like you could buy a baguette to pizza. There's a pizza there we like a lot that has tomato and olives on it, to croque monsieurs. And so it's kind of tucked back there a little bit, but there is seating if you want it. You also could take this stuff and walk with it. I'd say the big thing against it for me is that it can get very busy. So you could be waiting in line for some desserts for a little bit. They do keep people moving as best they can. It's just so good. So it's popular. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great place. I really do like the macaroons back there. They come in a little case. It's like a little plastic thing, and it has 6 different flavors, and those are outstanding. That pizza Sarah mentioned is great. The olive, tomato, cheese pizza. I don't even think there's sauce on it. So there are a lot of really good items back there. It's kind of, so you're not really getting a meal there. You're getting a la carte experience. So you just go through, look in this glass container, tell the people working behind the counter what you want, and it's just kind of you pick and choose your individual items, and they pull them out for you, and that's kind of how you make your meal, your dessert tray, whatever it is you're getting back there. It's kind of by the item there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which that factor can cause it to maybe add up a little bit, but to me, that's one of my favorite places to pop into, grab some kind of quick service food, and then keep on with my day in Epcot. So yeah, so that's my number 2. I would gamble we have the same number 1.
I'm going to guess so, since it hasn't been said yet. So number 1 is Satu'li Canteen.
Yes, that is it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Satu'li Canteen in Animal Kingdom over in the Pandora area is my favorite quick service by quite a bit. The food there is outstanding. The drinks are great. The desserts are top notch, and the theming is probably only second to Beauty and the Beast, is my guess. So it's just got everything going for it. I love the bowls there. I always get the same thing, although I've had quite a few in the past, so I kind of settled on this one. I love the chicken with noodles and the herb dressing. Some of those cheesecake desserts that they have. Yeah, those are really good.
Yeah, I don't know if you said, and if you did, I apologize. So this is going to be in the Pandora location.
Yep.
So it definitely carries that whole theme, and I completely agree with everything Jeff said. The reason that I love the food, so it was like when I was making this list, number 1 was easy. Like that was the first thing I wrote down. Then I had to kind of think for filling in the rest of it. It's going to be kind of like you make your own bowl in some ways. So like the base, I believe, are like greens, rice, noodles, A sweet potato hash. I really like the sweet potato hash as well. I usually jump between like that and the noodles usually personally. And then you pick your protein. Personally, I typically go for the crispy tofu. It's really good.
It's really good.
But also there's chicken there.
They have, I think, fish, shrimp,
beef.
and roast beef.
Yes. Yep. And then there's a couple sauces. One thing I like to do with the sauces is I'm like a buffet person where I like lots of things. So usually I'll ask for 2 of the sauces on the side and then I'll kind of like mix them in my bowl. So if there's more than one sauce you want to try, you can always ask and they can put those on the side as well. But I love that aspect. They also have those pods. So
a little curry or hamburger pods.
Yeah, so those are very popular. Are very good. And so they are just great options. I would say the desserts are good, but they're for me not my favorite thing. So if like you're looking for something sweet, you could get that. But also there's tons of really good sweets in Animal Kingdom. So I usually, if they have a seasonal one, like I think they had a pumpkin and peppermint, 2 separate ones. There was a pumpkin one for one season and a peppermint for another season. So I think we've tried a few of those. But yeah, it's just amazing food. The theming really makes you feel like you're still in Pandora. It's quick, so it goes pretty fast. You can mobile order or you can wait in line, but they tend to turn it out pretty fast, which is always what you're hoping for with quick service. But it is just really good food, and it goes back to, I guess, some of our themes in that it doesn't feel like theme park food.
Not at all. I think this is about as far from theme park food as you can get. This is, I mean, they cook it fresh. It's delicious. It's honestly something that I could see you making at home. And if someone served you this at your house, you'd think, wow, that's a really good home-cooked meal. It's just far exceeds what theme park food is, in my opinion.
I would agree. And I'd also say of the quick service places, I'd say Disney does a pretty good job of giving you like sufficient portions. This is definitely that case. Like if you order one of the bowls and you have a drink with it, like it's no problem for you to go and leave full. So you won't be leaving hungry. You'll definitely leave full. And I will say the drinks, we don't get them every time, but there's like a sangria that is Pandora themed, so that's one we'll typically get. But they have a bunch of beers.
Yeah, they have some Pandora themed beers as well. Grog's Grotto, I think, is one. And yeah, they've got a few different drinks there. It's really just, the whole thing is themed from the drinks to the way you order, the menu, the dishes they get served in, to the seating area, and everything is just themed like you're on the Pandora planet. And I think that's a really cool added aspect to what's already some awesome food.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, anything else about Satuli?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, so I would say if there's anything to take away from this video, we gave you lots of good options, but you have to go to Satuli.
Oh, yeah, it's the only one we agreed on.
Yeah, but I'm actually surprised that we had so many different, but I think it's good. We got to cover kind of a lot of good quick service options.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, all right.
Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.